I, my friends, have found it. And I will today give you a preview of the piece that I'm going to write for National Review on this. That's coming. It's interesting because Gephardt, see, has already said that this North American Free Trade Agreement is no good. It's bad. It's unacceptable as is. Slick Willie has been on both sides of it, as he has been on everything. And there is much in this North American Free Trade Agreement that Slick Willie claims to want to accomplish. And yet here's a Democratic leader saying it's not going to fly as long as I'm here. So we have the so-called moderate centrist Democrats in Congress, which really aren't, you see. This is my point, my friends. The schism, I think, is upon us. Some lighthearted stuff. You know, I know you're hearing a lot about Woody Allen, and I know you're tired, perhaps, of hearing about Woody Allen, but my friends, we have more great Woody Allen stuff.
You're my love.
Woody Allen theme here.
You're my angel. Rat-a-tat. You're the girl
Rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat.
of my dreams.
Rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat. Daddy's home.
I'd like to thank you. Rat-a-tat.
Daddy's home.
Patiently.
Rat-a-tat, 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 rat-a-tat.
Daddy's home. Daddy's home to stay.
Yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, we explored the fun things that might result should Woody Allen actually marry Suni Pharaoh. Among the funniest would be that he would have to give the bride away to himself. And so forth. The question now is, what if they get married and then get divorced? If Woody Allen and Suni Pharaoh get married and then get divorced, he would have to pay her alimony and child support. All in one. She would have to sue him for custody of herself. And if they had a child, now follow this, if they had a child and she grew up and married Woody, now what would that, would he be his own brother-in-law? You know, Alex Haley could not keep track of this family if this keeps going. They can try as hard as they want. The possibilities are endless.
Of my dream. I'd like to thank you for waiting patiently. Daddy's home.
You know, Bush is going to go to Louisiana when he's on his way back to Washington from Louisiana. He's going to stop, visit the Woody Allen family reunion and declare that a disaster, too. And how about this? Did you see the celebrity homes down in Florida that were spared? Gloria Estefan and Julio Iglesias' homes were Gloria Estefan. What do you think? It's Estefan? Gloria Estefan. It's Estefan? Gloria Estefan. Gloria Estefan. They're telling me I sound like a gringo when what did I sound like a honky? Is that it when I say Gloria Estefan? All right, it's Gloria Estefan. And Julio Iglesias. How's that? Instead of Julio Iglesias, how it's Julio Iglesias. Hey, by the way, what's ever happened to all the girls I've loved before is our Clinton theme. I put out a request for that down in Houston, and I still haven't gotten it. Where is it? What do you mean still looking? I mean, I've got it at home. If it just, all you need to do is, what you're saying is you forgot. That's what you're saying is you forgot. Still looking? Sounds like a little guy, you know, a waiter. I got to tell you, I was on a cruise once. This waiter from Costa Rica. What was his name? Wilson was his first name. But these are small cabins. This is before I became a big star and was living in suites on cruises. Just in a regular standard stateroom like you people stay in when you go on a cruise. But there were still 5 or 7, maybe 8 people in this thing. And it's a lot of people. You know, the couch was all filled up, and everybody's in the bed, and we ordered a bunch of stuff. And so Wilson came in, and he knocked on the door, and we let him in, and he had the tray of cheese and crackers and whatever else that had been ordered, and there wasn't room for it anywhere. Nobody had made any room on any of the tables, or perhaps the table, or any of that. And we were all so engrossed in conversation that we let him in, and then they forgot about him. Figured he's the waiter, he'll find a place for it. He stood there turning circles, and to get our attention, after about 30 seconds, started saying, "Still looking, still looking for a place." And so then we realized this guy doesn't have a place to put the table. So when you tell me you're still looking for Julio Iglesias' song, it just means to me that you forgot. Because I did not say it from Roy Orbison, "To All the Girls I've Loved and Lost." Roy Orbison never sang that song. Don't. You know that. You are a music expert. This is the lamest excuse yet. Why can't you just say you forgot it? Anyway, this Hurricane Andrew blows into town and spares the homes of Gloria Estefan and Julio Iglesias. However, Madonna's new $4 million Coral Gables estate, she's in the middle of renovating this thing, took a beating. Big beating. Reports are, damage reports are that windows broke and there was damage to the landscaping at Madonna's house. Big deal. Not the first time a guy blew into town for a night, trashed her, and then left the next morning.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Here's news about a revolutionary product proven to help build your energy, vitality, and physical endurance naturally. It's called Ginsana. This is Dr. Ronald Hoffman, medical doctor and nutritionist. If you lack energy, if you're tired, if you feel you've lost your competitive edge, you should know about Ginsana, the first standardized herbal ginseng product. Ginsana provides the highest quality ginseng extract in a soft gel capsule. It was developed in Switzerland and clinically tested for 25 years. Double-blind research studies have proven that Ginsana helps build physical endurance by improving cardiovascular performance and enabling the body to use oxygen more efficiently. Who benefits from Ginsana? Middle-aged men and women, senior citizens, college students, and athletes. It's often imitated, but there's only one Ginsana. All natural, no sugar or yeast.
Now at Rite Aid, Walgreens, Osco, Save-On, GNC, Eckerd, Revco, Thrifty, Faze, Hook, Super D, Thrift, and Treasury Drug. For a free brochure, call 800-GINSANA, GINSANA.
Now, honestly, somewhere between the evening news and your favorite reruns, you've got some spare time, right? Well, if you'll spend some of that time with the National Dynamics language program, we'll have you speaking and understanding Spanish, French, Italian, German, or Japanese in 30 days. No books, no classes. Just our audio tapes in your home, car, or portable cassette player. Call this number today, 1-800-545-1985. That's 1-800-545-1985. Now, really, how many reruns can you watch?
This is WHYN AM 560.
Fleet Bank has news for people in the market for a home equity loan. News that's so big, you don't need jangly music to make it sound important. News that's so good, you don't need this kind of voice to deliver it. News
that speaks for itself, and here it is. Fleet Bank's home equity loan rate is now one of the lowest we've ever offered, even lower than our prime rate. So if you've been thinking about applying for a home equity loan or rewriting an existing one at a lower rate, there's never been a better time. In fact, our rate is so low right now, we can't mention it here. You can find it in our newspaper ads this week. Plus, Fleet will waive the usual closing costs, which makes our home equity loan an even better deal.
Don't delay. Act now.
Actually, every day you put it off is costing you money, so you really should stop by or call your nearest Fleet Bank branch today. Ask about Fleet Home Equity, the one with the rate so low, it speaks for itself. Fleet Bank, we're here to make a difference. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
There's
a tomato bonanza going on at the Massachusetts roadside stand near you. Fresh, ripe tomatoes grown nearby at E. Checky Farms and Fowler Farms, and that's not all. Bluebird Acres and Atkins Fruit Bowl have fuzzy, fabulous peaches, tree-ripened and ready to eat. Massachusetts family farmers are the real farmers in the marketplace. And there's a roadside stand convenient to you. Atkins Fruit Bowl in Amherst, Bluebird Acres in East Longmeadow, E. Checky Farms in Feeding Hills, and Fowler Farms in Westfield. Members of the Massachusetts Association of Roadside Stands are making sure you get the best of all the locally grown fruits and vegetables right from the fields to you. Tomatoes and peaches are plentiful now, and more is on the way right up to the end of the season. Stop by Atkins Fruit Bowl in Amherst, E. Checky Farm in Feeding Hills, Bluebird Acres in East Longmeadow, and Fowler Farms in Westfield for the freshest produce available and a chance to win Red Sox tickets. And remember, Massachusetts grown is fresher.
WHYN AM 560 AccuWeather, another steamy afternoon, lots of heat and humidity.
We now take you to the world headquarters of the EIB Broadcast Network in beautiful downtown New York City and journey to the 17th floor to the patriotic center of the universe, the Rush Limbaugh Broadcast Studios, where daily Mr. Limbaugh broadcasts truth to the truth-starved multitudes of North America. And now, ready to take his hallowed place behind the golden EIB microphone is the great one himself, Mr. Rush Limbaugh.
Absolutely right here, you people, serving humanity on the EIB network as thousands, hundreds of thousands gather to hear the words of wisdom spouted from this, the golden EIB microphone. Do you know what I've just done? By admitting that I own a Julio Iglesias CD, I have just done myself some image damage. They're saying in there, what is it that you purchased that for? Do you want to play this some night late and hope that whoever you were with might throw their underwear at you? I don't know why I bought this thing. It obviously was in a moment of sentimentality. It was back in Sacramento when I bought it. And I don't know why. I think I know why. It's because there's another song on there that I did like. It was Julio Iglesias and Diana Ross. All of me as long as I am. I don't know if it was a hit or not. I'm just telling you I liked it. Hey, look, I've liked a lot of stuff that wasn't a hit. We have a cellular call here, my friends. Probably a rich Republican. As you know, we always put cellular calls to the front so as to save those people money. This from Roslyn, New York. Doug, hello and welcome.
How you doing, Rush?
Good. How are you?
Good. Listen, I think that it's very funny that the president has this new 10% checkoff plan, but when I called you back right after the president was elected in the last election, and before his inauguration, I said to you, you know, people have voluntarily given a lot of money for things in this country. If the deficit is such a terrible thing, why don't we voluntarily, each of us, whether we can afford a lot of money or a little money, try and spend down the deficit if the money was only earmarked for one thing, and if we had a cap on spending. At that time, you said to me you didn't think that they would go for it, but when the president mentioned this on his acceptance speech, I almost fell off my couch and stood on my wife.
I think this proves that the president listens to this show.
I think so.
And has been for 4 years and probably stole the idea from you.
Somebody did, I think, because we had a long discussion on it. You weren't sure that it would fly, but, you know, in other municipalities around the country, people have been earmarking tax money for certain projects that they want done very badly, and they just don't want the money going only into a general treasury.
Well, I do think it's a risky procedure in a precedent-setting sense because you cannot allow individuals to decide, look, I don't want any of my taxes to go to fund our defense.
Right, right.
You can't do that. But I think the reason why it's a good idea is political. Because I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think Congress is ever going to go along with it. But what it does is illustrate that paying down the debt is not a priority with these people, yet they continue to hammer the president about the fact that he's contributed more to it than any other president has. I think it's just a way of showing the true intent and identity of liberal Democrats in Congress. I think that's what this is all about. That's why I am so excited that I think I have found this the first of what I think are going to be many wedge issues that are going to drive the Democrats apart. This unity isn't going to hang up. Folks, it isn't going to survive because it's phony. You think that the Now Gang agrees with Clinton? Do you think that the ACLU has all of a sudden gone moderate? You think all these liberal special interest groups that tell those people what to do have gone moderate? You know they haven't. And I'm telling you that in the course of this campaign, certain things are going to happen. It's going to drive a wedge between them, and they're going to come forth and say, I disagree with Clinton on this. And then the gloss will be off, so to speak. And the truth about what's going on here, that liberals still run the Democratic Party and will, whether Clinton's elected or not, will surface. And I think that when that happens, the chances that Bush has are improved dramatically. Doug, thanks for the call. A quick one here before. We've got some great lighthearted stuff here, folks. Well, it's not lighthearted now that you stop and think of it. I mean, it's strange, it's sad. But first, I want to get this. Ed from Colorado Springs. Ed, hello. It says here that you want the truth of Clinton taxes?
Yes. Russ.
You mean you want to know whether or not he really did raise taxes 128 times?
Well, I've listened to both sides claiming yes and no.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know, what is the truth about Clinton's 128 tax increases while governor of Arkansas?
Here's the truth.
Okay.
128 times when he was governor, taxes and fees went up. He did not authorize each one individually. There were not 128 signatures. There were not 128 bills. There were not 128 pieces of legislation, but 128 times the cost of living through some mandate of government went up in Arkansas. Now, the important thing to me, I think the Bush administration should, or the Bush campaign ought to get off the 128. And if the Clinton people want to say, hey, we didn't do it 128 times, he only did it 4 times, and it added up to 128, let them have it that way. Well, I mean, fine. Stop talking about it. What they've got to talk about is Clinton's economic plan now, which is full of tax increases and mandated spending. It will rob 2/3 of existing corporate profit today in order for it to be complied with. And that's what they ought to be talking about. This business of, he will raise taxes, and he'll love doing it. That's all he has ever known. Bill Clinton raises money by raising taxes or asking for donations. Bill Clinton's never had a job in the private sector. He doesn't understand raising capital. He doesn't understand paying off debt. It doesn't matter to him.
Well, can I just make this one comment?
Yep.
Now, I have watched these various coalitions of voters align themselves with either Bush or Clinton, and it becomes increasingly clear which side of the issues the candidates are on just by the various coalitions that are aligning themselves. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to me that if people with half an intelligence would look at that, it's pretty obvious that the liberals are still running the Democratic Party.
That's exactly right. That's what somebody came forth with the other day. Just look at who Clinton supporters are if you want to find out who's happy.
Exactly.
That's just another way of saying it. You're absolutely right.
Well, thank you, Rush.
Okay. Glad you called, Ed. That's really the truth, folks. I mean, if I were running this campaign, I'd be doing a lot of things differently. But I'm not running the campaign. I'm just an average, ordinary, everyday American citizen. Sitting here, trying to do my best, trying to have a good, solid career. But as I look forward and ahead of this haranguing over whether Clinton raised taxes 128 times, all you got to say is 128 times the cost of things in Arkansas went up, from taxes to driver's license fees and so forth and so on. Can't be denied. The question is, what's Clinton going to do when he becomes president? What has he said he's going to do? Analyze that, and I think that you have plenty of ammo to frighten people. Let's see. Minneapolis. This borders on the unreal. Gases released from liquid manure pits have killed 4 Minnesota farmers in the past 2 weeks. Now, what is manure? Naturally produced, isn't it? You know, I have this thing, the EIB Memory Division, these people who sit around and just remember things, have dug up a 1974 Reader's Digest. Ominous changes in the world's weather. If scientists are reading the signals correctly, we may be headed into a global cooling trend that could bring massive tragedies for mankind. This is from 1974. What a turnaround we've had, my friends. What a turnaround. We'll be back with more in a moment. The vocabulary of the average person stops growing by age 25. Your vocabulary is limited. Your potential for success is too. Hi, this is Rush Limbaugh. Verbal Advantage, Achievement Dynamics' powerful audio cassette program gives you the words you need to succeed. Just by listening, you'll learn word meanings, pronunciation, and usage, plus essential power words to give you confidence in any situation. To learn more, call now, 1-800-28-TAPES. That's 800-28-TAPES. There's more with me, Rush Limbaugh, after this WHYN News Update.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Healy in the WHYN newsroom, and here are some of the stories we're working on for 1 o'clock. U.S. warplanes are in the air and on the lookout in southern Iraq, but the White House says it doesn't expect anything to happen immediately. Holyoke police are waiting for autopsy results today on the body of a woman they believe may have been the city's latest murder victim. Pediatricians and consumer groups are asking the Consumer Product Safety Commission to impose a ban on baby walkers. And in sports, the Toronto Blue Jays trade for the Mets pitcher David Cone. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 14 at 3261. The exclusive WHYN AccuWeather forecast for today, hazy, hot, and humid. Chance of a late-day shower or thunderstorm, high 90. Tonight, warm and muggy, low 68. Tomorrow, changeable skies, chance of a shower, high 80. Chance for showers or a thunderstorm tomorrow night into Saturday morning, then partly sunny, less humid Saturday afternoon. I'm Paul Healy, WHYN News.
Heard some folks arguing t'other day about Hilltop Steakhouse. I smile when I say that. Seems one group kept shouting, tastes great, whilst the other bunch hollered back, costs less. Tastes great, costs less. Tastes great, costs less. They went on and on. Finally, I horned in and explained that this ain't no beer commercial. Besides, they were both right. You see, Hilltop Steakhouse is famous over in Boston for charbroiling steaks to the most exacting specifications of every single customer. Same goes for chicken and seafood. And the prices? Some folks think our menu's are 10 years old, the prices are so low. There's one thing you don't hear folks arguing about at Hilltop Steakhouse, though. Nobody says the meals are less filling. So come on over to Hilltop Steakhouse. Find out whose side you're on. Tastes great or costs less.
Hilltop Steakhouse, west on Route 20, Springfield. Call 747-0700 for a reservation number.
My child is very critical of herself and seems to be showing signs of poor self-esteem. What can I do to improve her sense of self-worth?
Children develop self-esteem from healthy interaction with their parents and others, but there are many other factors that influence the way children learn to perceive themselves. For instance, conflicting messages about performance from peers and parents can confuse a child. Encouragement from a primary caregiver may have a more significant impact than from a person the child does not know as well. One of the most important messages a parent can convey to a child is that of unconditional acceptance regardless of behavior. Unacceptable behavior should be addressed in a constructive and consistent way. If a poor self-image persists and begins to affect the child's ability to function in school or elsewhere, evaluation by a counselor should be considered. This health tip was presented by Wing Memorial Healthcare System, your regional healthcare system.
You're listening to WHYN, AM 560.
Rush Limbaugh.
I don't know how this happens. You're like the fake. Pardon only for laughing and you don't know what about, let me try to fill you in. Lo Bianco just came in with some more photos. This time he's on the set of WABC, Channel 7 in New York, the news set, with that stupid grin that you put on your like, you know, a dumb happy. That's just, hey, look at me, you golly. He's already got a picture of himself sitting where Peter Jennings sits. And then there's another picture of Phil Collins, you know, outside Madison Square Garden. Is that where that was taken? Where was that taken? Right outside Madison Square Garden. He says, no, it's over there. It's Madison Square Garden over there. Just Madison. It's Madison. Call it Felt Forum, whatever, the Paramount, whatever you want to call it. You know, there are people who can do this. There are some people who can sneak in every stage door. There are some people who can get by every security cop. There are some people who can get where you're not supposed to go. And not only does Lo Bianco do it, they greet him and they go, hey, welcome on. Hey, want a picture? Yeah, and he's not with ACT UP. Yeah, he doesn't have to go and protest something. Oh, let's see. Really, I have this 1974 Reader's Digest piece, and I want to comment further on this because, and I want to couple it with a real reading of a couple of paragraphs, a couple of lines from Senator Gore's hysterical tome called Earth in the Balance. But now here we have, this is a story by Tom Alexander. It's condensed from a Fortune magazine piece. And this is the July 1974 issue of Reader's Digest. Look at that price, 50 cents up there. Ominous changes in the world's weather. If scientists are reading the signals correctly, we may be headed into a global cooling trend that could bring massive tragedies for mankind. Now, this apparently has been forgotten, and now we are in the midst of a global warming crisis that, if we don't stop now, is going to result in the end of the Earth, the end of our ability to live here. How can things change so dramatically? They never have in history. Ice ages take sometimes millions of years to play out. The more the light of truth shines on the allegations made by the hysterical left, the more crackpot they become and the less credibility they have. Here is Al Gore, Earth in the Balance, page 325. We now know that automobiles' cumulative impact on the global environment is posing a mortal threat to the security of every nation that is more deadly than that of any military enemy we are ever again likely to confront. May I translate, ladies and gentlemen? The automobile, your Pinto, your Mazda SX40 or whatever you have, your Mercedes, your wheels, your method of transportation, your only escape route from violent crime, you can speed away from the scene, is said by Senator Gore to pose a greater threat to this planet than nuclear weapons in control or controlled by enemies of the United States. This is the kind of hysteria that he is putting forth as substance that apparently he actually believes and therefore wants to take action on. Ban the automobile? Maybe not, but severely restrict automobiles? Yes. Who's going to get hurt if that happens? People who make them, right? And not just the management people, but the line union workers. And first, before we get to banning the automobile, let's get in there and really put some unrealistic restrictions on miles per gallon. Let's move it up to 40 or 70 miles. You can't make a car unless it'll get 40 to 70 miles a gallon. Doesn't matter if you make a profit making that car. We, the federal government, led by Bill Clinton, because we care more than anybody else, are going to make you do that. Who's going to get hurt with this kind of stuff? That's why when Bill Clinton went to Detroit earlier this week to speak to people, not only about the CAFE is what this is called, the restrictions on miles per gallon fuel efficiency, and the North American Free Trade Agreement. He's vulnerable on those two things, folks, and I'm going to point it out on this show. This is a step one in pointing it out to you, but he's up there. He's got a vice president who's running around with hysterical environmental proposals that are going to harm the U.S. auto industry, and that is what most of the madcap, hysterical environmentalist proposals that you're hearing to save us from this crisis will do: harm business. And may I ask you this question? Where do jobs come from? If the issue in this campaign is jobs, where do they come from? May I ask you that question? Somebody like to take a stab? Do jobs? No, Kit Carson. Jobs do not come from the government. Where do jobs come from? They come from business. There are some jobs who come from the government, but are they real private sector jobs where growth and all that takes place? No. Everybody knows that jobs, the kind that are being talked about in this campaign, come from the private sector. Here's another from Senator Gore's book. I support new laws to mandate, that means require, improvements in automobile fleet mileage, but much more is needed than just that. That also from page 325 of Earth in the Balance. Why am I the only one talking about this stuff? I don't know, but that's okay with me. I can handle it alone. I don't need other people talking about it. I am happy to be the lone voice here. I'll be glad to monopolize this market. Truth. What a great thing. Now, I have more bad news, ladies and gentlemen. Terrible news. Economic news. First off, I'm holding here in my formerly nicotine state fingers a state-by-state list of average teacher salaries for 1991-1992 as reported by the American Federation of Teachers. In what state do teachers make the most money, average salary? Anybody out there want to take a stab at it? Don't say anything snurdly. You know what it is. Don't blow it. Somebody out there take a guess. Anybody want to take a guess? No, it's not Wisconsin. You homer. Diana, what do you think? What's the state in the country where teachers make the most money? Don't say... Bo, you're in there telling them. You're in there telling... It's Connecticut, folks. $47,510 a year is the average salary. $47,000. That's pretty good. Next, Alaska. $43,800. When you call today, if you want to know what teachers' average salary in your state is, you just tell me, and I will look it up here on my list. New York, since that's where I live, what do they make here? $43,335. That's going to be number 3. That's right behind Alaska. This is not bad money. Everybody talks about how rotten teachers are paid. This is not bad money. Now, in New York, of course, that's a lot, to risk your life for, which is what you have to do here when you teach. We might put an asterisk here. 43. Yeah, that doesn't include the body armor that teachers in New York have. Let's see. Michigan, $40,700 a year. Let's look at some more in the Rhode Island, $39,000. I think lower than Arkansas. Here's one. 2. Arkansas. 3. Only 4 states lower than Arkansas. Well, Arkansas would be number 46. That's why we say you learn more here in 3 hours than an entire semester. I'm going to stop saying that. The people of Arkansas are unfairly offended by that, are properly offended. We don't mean to be insulting to teachers there. Let's see, California. $40,425 a year. And they got a budget crisis out there. They've got an actual stall because the education czars out there say they need more money for education. Do you know in New Jersey, what the average price per student is now? It's over $7,000 a student per year. Now let's add it up here, folks. You got an average class size of 30 kids. That's $210,000 per classroom in New Jersey. Let's look them up here. Let's see how much the teachers make. $41,000. So that's 210. We've got basically $170,000 after paying the teacher per classroom. Where's the money going? Chalk? Blackboards? We could limo these kids to school. We could cater them lunch from 21 and still have money left over. And we could air condition all the classrooms with wall-to-wall carpeting. Same stuff the Republicans used in the Astrodome. Did you note, by the way, they made a big deal about all the carpeting the Republicans paid for to carpet the Astrodome down there. Well, the economy certainly isn't bad for carpet makers in Houston, as though it was somehow a rotten deal. Here the economy is bad, so the Republicans go out there and spend a lot of money putting money into the economy, and the news people say, this is horrible. How insensitive can you be? And not one paragraph was spoken about whatever extravagance or expense the Democrats put into making Madison Square Garden look the way it did. Not one. Anyway, folks, the bad news continues. Those teacher salaries. I hate to hit you with such negative stuff. I know somebody has to. Here's more bad news. And I want you to brace yourselves, because this is going to shock and stun many of you. It's going to confuse you, and your desire to live may actually be tempered greatly by this news. The number of first-time claims for unemployment benefits posted the largest decrease ever in mid-August, dropping below 400,000 for the first time in 22 months. According to the Labor Department, the decline of 92,000 in new applications took the total down to 382,000 during the week ended August 15th, the largest drop since the Labor Department began tracking claims in 1967. Many economists had expected claims to fall. Most caution against reading too much into the week-to-week changes because of the. See, you get this news, and I tell you, folks, it's no wonder you people think that we're in a hellhole with no stairs out of it. Every day, this is great news, absolutely marvelous news. Don't read anything into it. If it were bad news, you know what the economists would be saying? We told you, and it's going to get even worse. And it's Bush's fault, too. You stupid people for electing him. You deserve to be out of work. Hope you starve. That's what they would say if the unemployment claims are up. Well, we're over time here. Let's take a quick break and be back with more after this.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
All right, it's about time. Here's our new Clinton theme.
Who travel in and out my door. I'm glad they came along. I dedicate this song to all the girls I've loved before.
E-I-B.
For the girls I
once caressed, he said.
And may I say I
what he's saying, but that's okay too. It's the same thing with Clinton. Jennifer didn't kick you out. Don't blame her. Okay, here comes the long-haired guy that needs a shower now.
All the girls who share who now are someone else. I'm glad they came along. I dedicate this song to all the girls I've loved before.
Okay, Julio, make it sensitive.
All the girls who care for me, who
Fill my nights with ecstasies with that.
they live within my heart.
Live within my harms. Always be a part. Yeah, I'll always be a part of all the girls I've loved before. Have any Clinton news? Oh, now it's a joint message.
Who traveled in
It's a group thing, right? It's a group thing.
We're glad they came along. We dedicate this song to all the girls we've loved before.
Bill Clinton and Senator Kennedy sing.
To all the girls we've loved before.
At La Brasserie in Washington on the floor.
We're glad they came along. We dedicate this song to all the girls we
Before. Well, good. Glad you found that. Now we know that we've got it. We'll be back and take a phone call after the break. Don't go away.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Dear Hooked on Phonics, what a difference your program has made for my 6-year-old granddaughter. After using Hooked on Phonics, she's no longer frustrated in class. She's confident and proud. Even her teacher is totally amazed with the results. Now my granddaughter raises her hand all the time to answer questions. I wish I had ordered Hooked on Phonics sooner. Signed, J.R. Greenville, Texas. For Hooked on Phonics plus SRA Reading Laboratories, call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
If you trust garlic, you can trust Quai. Why? Quai concentrated garlic tablets are odor-free. All the goodness of garlic is concentrated into a tiny tablet that's easy to swallow. Quai's special scientific coating takes it gently through your stomach to prevent the odor and also the repeating and burping you get from other garlic preparations. Garlic is a good idea, and Quai gives you all the goodness of garlic without the problems. Quai, K-W-A-I, at your pharmacy.
WHYN, AM 560.
Hey, don't touch that dial. You're going to use your fingers to save money at McDonald's. Because now you can order your favorite extra value meal by number. Wave one finger, get the Big Mac extra value meal. 2 fingers for the 2 original cheeseburgers, 3 for the quarter pounder with cheese, and 4 for the McChicken sandwich. Each with large fries and medium drink for just $2.99. Plus tax, prices may vary. So, flick the turn signal and pull into a participating McDonald's for a $2.99 extra value meal. See, what you want is what you get at McDonald's today. Ooh, I need a manicure.
What you want is what you get. Every day and every way. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
You get the deal you want at McDonald's. 59-cent original hamburger, 69-cent cheeseburger, or an extra value meal. Prices may vary plus tax. Get to a participating McDonald's now.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Pretty much any bus company can give you a good deal when you're only going somewhere close like here. In fact, Greyhound Vermont Transit can take you to places like Hartford for $3, Boston for $8, and even New York for just $13. But only Greyhound can take you to over 1,700 destinations nationwide, including Miami, Dallas, and even Las Vegas for just $99 one way. So, no matter where you want to go, whether it's across the state or across the nation, you always save money on Greyhound. Whoa, this is a big country.
Go anywhere Greyhound goes for just $99 or less with no advance purchase. Fares are valid for travel originating in Springfield on Greyhound Vermont Transit only. No other discounts apply. Offer expires September 15th, 1992.
WHYM AM 560 AccuWeather, a warm evening. Looks like a better chance of some showers tomorrow.
Okay, here we go back to the phones. As I said, this is Tom in Atlanta. Let's see. There we go. Got the wrong line. Tom, you're with us now. Welcome.
Rush, dittos from Atlanta, Georgia.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I had a couple comments and a question, but before we get started, can we pass on birthday greetings to a friend of mine in Alpharetta, Georgia, Dana Turley, who's having a birthday this weekend?
What if I say no? What do we do then?
What do we do then?
Yeah.
Well,
we zap you. Which I don't zap callers, so you've got it in there. You've got it, but time dwindles, you know. The constraints of time, and time goes on here, so get to it.
Well, I just felt that was appropriate since Dana was the one that got me hooked on listening to your program.
Happy
I've been a listener for over a year now.
Happy birthday to you, Dana, from everybody here at EIB.
Okay. Anyway.
Yes.
I've been trying to get through so long that really my first comment is that Letcher is more appropriate than Satyr as the equivalent for the male equivalent of slut.
All right. We'll make a note.
Okay.
The Limbaugh lexicon at the EIB Institute.
Okay.
Make a note, Letcher instead of Satyr.
Right.
Have the EIB memory division people go to work on making sure they remember this from now on. Go ahead. What's next?
And did you see the Mark Russell special on PBS?
I did. My mom called me last night and said she watched it, and she said he sang this cutest song about you. And I said, Mother, I think it's a put down. Oh no, so, my mother would think everything's a compliment unless somebody said that I was an axe murderer. Then she'd get mad. But all you got to do is mention my name on TV, and she loves you and thinks that you're complimenting me. But I think Mark Russell was. I haven't heard it. I've only heard people say that it's not very.
Well, it was his closing song for the program, and it was basically about what he referred to as right-wing talk radio.
Yeah. Okay. Tell you what. Hang on. We got a break here. We'll talk further about this on the other side of it. Don't go away.
Dad, can I run the grocery cart?
Okay, hop up. Son, I want you to pay close attention. You're about to learn the secret of my great cookouts.
Can we get hot dogs?
Hot dogs? No, not just any hot dogs, son. Every successful cookout starts with KM Old Time Franks. Look here in the meat case. Can you pick them out? They're in the blue package.
The horse and buggy?
Yep, the horse and buggy means they're old time. And the KM logo means quality. I can remember my dad taking me to the deli to buy Old Time Franks.
Dad, can you show me the deli like Grandpa did?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's a big step. First, a little test. What's the secret to a good cookout?
KM's Old Time Franks.
And?
Because they're made with ingredients to make kids grow.
That's my boy.
Start your own tradition with all the great tastes of KM. Look for KM's Old Time Franks in your grocer's deli or meat case. As always, quality is KM's first ingredient.
WHYN AM 560. Now with Rush Limbaugh, weekdays at noon. The best talk on Springfield's news leader.
WHYN, Springfield.
It's 1 o'clock. Not enough relief. 86 degrees on Court Square. The exclusive WHYN AccuWeather forecast calls for a hazy, hot, and humid afternoon. Chance of a late-day shower or thunderstorm. I'm Paul Healy, WHYN News. State and local officials are complaining that the federal government isn't doing enough to help victims of Hurricane Andrew. Relief workers are having a hard time getting supplies to some of the hardest-hit areas because of blocked roads and a lack of organization. Dade County Emergency Management Director Kate Hale warns there'll be more casualties unless the problems are solved. She's angry about federal officials' response to the disaster. Hale says, where are they? Governor Lawton Chiles says when a food truck arrives, 200 people show up, 50 to get food, and 150 to get angry. He says they have to find a way to change that. 101 at WHYN, AM 560. Just ahead, U.S. planes are in the air.
Now you can bowl for just 99 cents a game at Brunswick Airway Lanes. Just 99 cents a game. Any day, anytime lanes are available. So bring the gang, bring the whole family, and come on out and see how much fun bowling can be. Only 99 cents a game at Brunswick Airway Lanes, located in the Springfield Plaza. Just 99 cents a game for every game you bowl. But it's just for a limited time. This special 99 cents a game special price is in effect until September 13th. It's great fun for the whole family for just 99 cents a game. Bowl candle pins or 10 pins and enjoy the fun and excitement of bowling in the comfortable climate of the Brunswick Airway Lanes at Springfield Plaza. There's no better way to entertain yourself and your friends and family for less. Experience the challenge and the fun of bowling at the Brunswick Airway Lanes in the Springfield Plaza on Liberty Street.
WHYN News continues. U.S. warplanes are in the air and on the lookout in southern Iraq. The White House says they don't expect anything to happen immediately. Pentagon spokesman Bob Hall.
There have been no flights by Iraqi aircraft today below the 32-degree line. Only coalition aircraft are flying below the 32-degree line. There's been no Iraqi reaction.
The Allied ban on Iraqi flights over southern Iraq took effect earlier today. Closer to home, an autopsy is set for today on the body of a woman found behind an apartment building at 101 Beach Street in Holyoke early this morning. Police tell News Radio WHYN the woman apparently died of blunt trauma. The woman was unconscious when she was found. She was taken to Bay State Medical Center where she was pronounced dead. Police are treating the case as a possible homicide. The Democratic Clinton-Gore presidential vice presidential ticket is on yet another bus tour, and in San Antonio, Texas, vice presidential candidate Al Gore today hammered the Republicans.
They've run out of ideas, they've run out of energy, they've run out of gas, they've run this country into the ground, and with your help, they're going to be run out of office on November the 3rd.
Meantime, President Bush was taking on Bill Clinton, telling workers in St. Louis that his opponent's idea to tax foreign investment in this country would drive away jobs and play on people's fears.
By attacking the bogeymen of foreign investors, Governor Clinton hopes to exploit the darker impulses of this uncertain age. Fear of the future, fear of the unknown, fear of foreigners.
Bush spoke at a plant that makes public safety equipment. Pediatricians and consumer groups are asking the Consumer Product Safety Commission to impose a ban on baby walkers. The groups say that the seats are nothing more than tiny injury vehicles. Nearly 29,000 infants required emergency room treatment last year because of the walkers. And a sports note, the Toronto Blue Jays, leading the American League East, attempted to solidify their starting rotation. They obtained pitcher David Cohn from the New York Mets for infielder Jeff Kent and a player to be named later. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 21 points at 3268. 104 at WHYN AM 560. We have hazy sunshine across the area, and the exclusive WHYN AccuWeather forecast is next.
The fall shoes are in at great low prices. The summer shoes are on sale at even lower prices. Cahoes, top name shoes, thousands of pairs. Cahoes' famous savings. Cahoes is shoes. Walk on in and see why. Open every weeknight till 9. Cahoes.
August is one of the best times to shop at Cahoes. You'll find all the newest fall fashions at Cahoes' famous savings and great summer clearance buys at even bigger savings. So come early and stay late because this August, Cahoes has more of everything you want or less. Cahoes, open weeknights till 9. Route 5 in East Windsor, off exit 45 of I-91. Cahoes.
Now the exclusive WHYN AccuWeather forecast from Joe Lundberg.
Hot and humid through the afternoon hours with hazy sunshine, the high about 90. Parts of the area will also have a thunderstorm later this afternoon or this evening. Partly cloudy, warm, and muggy tonight, low 68. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and humid, chance of a shower, high 80. Showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night into Saturday morning. There'll be some sunshine returning Saturday afternoon. It will turn less humid as well, high 76. For Sunday, a mixture of clouds and sun, high 78. This is meteorologist Joe Lundberg, WHYN AM 560 AccuWeather.
I'm Paul Healy, WHYN News. Next news when it happens. Next scheduled news at 1:30. Now back to Rush Limbaugh on WHYN AM 560.
From behind the golden EIB microphones, it's the Rush Limbaugh program coming to you live and direct from the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies, the largest free education institution in the world. Our summer lecture series continues, hosted by me, Rush Limbaugh, as I occupy the prestigious Attila the Hun chair in the Institute. 800-282-2882 if you would like to be on the program. Hey, again, this reminder. Whoa. Let me find this stuff. We want you to send some videos into the television show, folks, because we going to do segments now and then on video mail. Video viewers. You can send in your videos on VHS cassette. Make sure that they're short. Brevity is the soul of wit. Don't make a speech. It could be a question or comment or whatever, but the shorter the better. That's the best odds you have of getting on the air. Send your videos to Rush Limbaugh, the television show. 515 West 57th, New York City, 10019. We are also getting in touch with affiliate television stations around the Fruited Plain. They are, some of them have expressed interest in actually being the clearinghouse, so to speak, where you, the eager beaver viewers, can go and record your stuff professionally somewhere where they set up. We had a couple calls yesterday from a couple of stations. I'm having a mental block now from where, so I don't want to say where. I don't want to give anybody the wrong idea. But you can also mail them in. You won't get the cassette back. 515 West 57th, New York City, 10019. We have a timber update coming up on today's program. Also, a couple of items here that are racial in their orientation. Yes, I'm warning you in advance. We're going to talk about race here for a couple of moments. And then after that, I am going to share with you people the first issue that's come along that I think is going to divide the Democrats and unmask this fact, they say, that they're moderates and centrists. Jeff Goldblum, Roger Ebert, and rock musician David Bowie all have what in common? They are all either dating or married to black women. The September issue, you didn't know that in there? The September issue of Ebony magazine focuses on interracial couples involving white men and black women. Now, I want you to know that I tested this in the halls of the EIB building before doing it here, and you should have heard the response I got. Rush, I don't know. I don't know if you ought to do this. This is a big sore spot with black women. And I said, this isn't a sore spot with black women. What's a sore spot with black women is, and let me see if I get this right. The sore spot with black women is black men marrying white women. That is a big sore spot. I happen to know it to be true. And that's not what this is. This is a reverse. This is white guys dating and or married to black women. Ebony quotes some psychologists as saying that successful black women are more often dating and marrying white men because of a shortage This is what the magazine says. Flag the tape, asterisk this, ring the bells. The magazine says there is a shortage of successful black men. Nell Carter and Whoopi Goldberg are among the women the magazine says have chosen white mates. So you have Whoopi Goldberg and Nell Carter, and then who, of course, the three black women who are associated with Jeff Goldblum, Roger Ebert, and David Bowie. Well, when I heard this, when I read this, I bet you people are prepared now for me to make some kind of comment that you think is racially insensitive and all that. No, not me. But I do have an observation. I'll share it with you. I thought white men just weren't worth a damn. That's what surprised me. I thought white men were the scourge of the planet. I thought white males were the reason we have all the evil around. I thought white men and their culture were the reasons for all that's wrong in America. I thought white men were the new pigs of society. So bad that we got to get any trace of white male history out of any cultural education on major college campi around the country. But apparently, what is it? What is it? Just tell me. What is it? They're all in there now cracking their own lines, trying to be their own comedians. What is it? Just to... Okay, that is good. That really is good. That really is good. Okay, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to say it. I will not tell you from whom this came because I don't want to get them in trouble. I'll take the heat on this. In the case of Nell Carter and Whoopi Goldberg dating or marrying white guys, if there were a movie made, the title would be White Men Can't See. Yes. White men can't see. Well, anyway, I would say that, too, about some... Well, never mind. It doesn't matter. All I know is that I thought white men were pigs. Unless, of course, you want a successful and happy marriage, then by all means get a white boy, apparently. Yeah, that's right. If you want a successful and happy marriage, then by all means get a white boy. Get a white homie. Hey, I'm telling you, that's just my observation. It's what I do here. I read, I observe, I comment. Now, racial... You want to see Bo Snerdley? He is there seething. If there were ever a human impersonation of the booster rocket that propels the shuttle into orbit, it is Bo Snerdley singing it. Okay. Now, racial item dos. A little Spanish lingo, ladies and gentlemen. Spike Lee, have you heard about this? That not even such luminary revolutionaries as Al Sharpton or the Reverend Jackson support the idea. Spike Lee has called on all blacks to forego work and school to attend the opening November 20th of his epic film, Malcolm the 10th. This is what we mean here, folks, by having more fun than a human being should be allowed to have. Here's what old Spike said in an interview in yesterday's Los Angeles Times. We're telling them they've got to turn out to support this film and support Malcolm the 10th. It's not Hollywood. This ain't Walt Disney. This is about the state of race relations in the world. And Spike said, skipping school for the opening is okay because the film presents the American history that students are not getting in school. If they go see the film and write a report of what they've seen, the teachers can't hold that against them. Hey, Spike, while you're at it, why don't you just go all the way? Tell these kids not only should they skip school to watch your movie about Malcolm X, but then on their way out, have them loot the concession stand in the lobby and then blow up the theater. Let's make it a full-fledged educational experience and then have them write a report about how much fun that was. Back to our guy in Atlanta. This is Tom. Tom, what was it you were talking about?
Well, we left off with the Mark Russell.
Yes. What was it that he said?
Well, it was just a montage about right-wing radio, and you were made reference to a couple of times towards the end of the song. As,
How? How do you know it was me?
Well, he referred to even the guy with half his brain tied behind his back.
Ooh,
blah, blah, blah.
It was about me then.
And then there was a little kind of tongue-in-cheek parody of your name used at the end of people rushing on the bandwagon.
Oh, yes.
To that effect. So it was obvious that it was the comment was made about you. But on the Spike Lee thing, I think if someone leaves their classroom or leaves their job, if they do so with a note from their employer or their instructor, they ought to get free admission to the movie and have Mr. Lee cover the expense.
There you go.
So that would be fair.
Hey, Spike, you want us to skip school, then let us in the damn theaters
for nothing? Sure, why not? Seems fair to me.
That's right.
Anyway, what I really wanted to call about was that I'm really having a hard time with the presidential election.
Well, it's simple. Vote Bush and then pray.
Well, I don't know. I definitely won't vote for Bill Clinton. And I definitely...
Well, then there's no problem. Who else you got? What are you going to do?
That's just it. Who else have I got? I can't buy into the George Bush thing, too, especially when they want to cloud the issue with nothing but throwing family values up in our face.
That's not clouding the issue.
Family values is not something that should be dictated by the government.
We're not talking about dictating it by the government. That's where they're doing this wrong. Bill Bennett's right. They're portraying this as dark side versus goodness and good versus evil, and that's not the right way to do it. Look, I said this yesterday that this is it's a worthwhile issue because the ideology which sponsors the permissiveness that allows moral decay is rooted in the Democratic Party, and it's only fair to point that out. And if you want the leaders of the country believing the things that you find objectionable or that most people find objectionable in the way their kids are being taught and so forth, then you shouldn't vote for him. It does matter, but it's got to be done the right way. I agree with you that it's that's why the whole thing I did yesterday about how I'm afraid this thing is being overdone, overblown, and looked at in the wrong way, so people are going to get fed up with it, which is unfortunate because it is a valid issue if done the right way.
Well, I would like to have listened to yesterday, but I was traveling back from South Carolina and couldn't find a radio station in my car that carried your program in the middle.
That's not possible. That simply is not possible. We now are officially...
Are you in Columbia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're in Columbia, South Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, WVOC.
Couldn't find it.
Absolutely. You got a scan button on that radio of yours?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm telling you.
But anyway.
You weren't listening at midnight, were you?
No. It was during the appropriate hours.
We're all over the place. You cannot miss this show. That's just not possible.
And I know that because I've listened to you in Florida. I've listened to you in Mississippi, Louisiana. I cover the southeastern United States for a company and travel quite a bit. So, as a matter of fact, last week I was in Little Rock, Arkansas, and could not find anybody in a 2-day stay there that would support Bill Clinton.
Let me ask. I want to take one more stab at this family values thing with you.
Sure.
Try this. You think it's not important. You think the people who are ridiculing it are right. The people who are ridiculing it are the same people, in many cases, who blame family dysfunctionality for their erratic behavior as adults. Robert Alton Harris on death row says, "Don't blame me. I didn't kill those two guys. I did it, but I didn't know what I was doing because when I was in the womb, my mother drank too much booze. I have fetal alcohol syndrome." Sorry. I didn't mean to set that house on fire, but my dad beat me up when I was a kid. Roseanne Barr says, "Look, I'm odd, I'm weird, everybody knows it, but the reason is my father was a drunk and alcoholic and beat me up." Roseanne Barr's brother.
It's a good income for her.
Hang on just a sec. That's right. Now, Roseanne Barr's brother says, "Wait a minute, she's weird, she sat on me, she beat me with a vacuum cleaner hose." She did all kinds of rotten things to me. Here's the question, now seriously now, if a family can screw up its offspring, if a family can so negatively impact the adult life of its kids, then isn't it also possible to assume that a family can do things that help a child benefit and grow to be responsible, moral, and all that? Absolutely. The same people who say, family values, it doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. The same people who come up and say their families are the reason that they're screwed up and odd. Got a break. We'll take it. Back in a minute.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Okay, folks, got some brand new products from Snapple that I want to tell you about. Iced tea fans, listen up. Snapple Natural Beverages has done it again. Combined great taste of 100% all-natural iced tea with the fresh taste of peach. I mean, this is outstanding. Stop the tape. Stop the tape. Folks, everywhere I go, people are now saying, hey, Rush, we just got Snapple. Let me tell you something. Stop the tape again. Stop the tape. I got to update, even the update, ladies and gentlemen. Down in Houston last week, Mike Munchak, holdout, but will sign soon, offensive guard of the Houston Oilers, is one of the new Snapple distributors down there. And just want you to know in Houston that it's all over the place, and it is coming to your state soon if it's not there yet. It is worth the wait. The anticipation that you feel for this product will be justified. Snapple, all kinds of great flavors, iced tea, soft drinks, sugar without sugar. It's made from the best stuff on earth.
Now, honestly, somewhere between the evening news and your favorite reruns, you've got some spare time, right? Well, if you'll spend some of that time with the National Dynamics language program, we'll have you speaking and understanding Spanish, French, Italian, German, or Japanese in 30 days. No books, no classes. Just our audio tapes in your home, car, or portable cassette player. Call this number today, 1-800-545-1985. That's 1-800-545-1985. Now, really, how many reruns can you watch?
The best talk here on WHYN, AM 560.
In the tradition of the Ten Commandments and Gandhi comes a sweeping screen epic bursting with spectacle and drama. It's Wayne's World, now available on video cassette at the movie shops. When a sleazy TV exec offers Wayne and Garth a fat contract for their cable access show, the two can't believe their excellent good fortune. But the road from basement to big time carries some extreme bumps. And, of course, major laughs as Wayne and Garth lead their fight for the right to party on. Can Wayne win the affection of rock goddess Cassandra? Will Garth get dunked by his dream girl at the donut shop? There's only one way to find out. Watch Wayne's World. 2 thumbs up. Cheer the excellent critic, Siskel and Ebert. Totally zany, says the babacious Pat Collins of WWOR-TV. Better than Murphy Brown, says an anonymous politician. Wayne's World on video cassette from Paramount, rated PG-13. Remember, rent or return your movies at any of the area movie shop superstores.
Is Casey Chevrolet in Chicopee selling out?
Casey says don't stop them. They know what they're doing.
It's the biggest sell-off. Yes, emergency sell-off of beautiful brand new Chevrolet and Geo cars, trucks, and vans in New England.
Casey is jammed, overstocked with over 400 surplus vehicles, new and used. Now all greatly reduced by hundreds and thousands to move out fast because more are on their way.
It's a chance of a lifetime because Casey's emergency sell-off discounts and rebates have never been bigger. Everything has to go.
Act now. Be early and enjoy first choice of that beautiful new conversion van, Blazer, or wagon you've been waiting to buy.
Surplus Cavaliers, pickups, Camaros, convertibles, Geos, everything at Casey's tremendous emergency sell-off discount.
Casey's loss is your gain.
Extra on-the-spot financing personnel, plus all the help you'll need to make it easier than ever to own and finance that car of your dreams at Casey's low, easy payments.
Don't miss these tremendous savings at Casey's total emergency sell-off sale now in progress.
It's all at Casey Chevrolet in Chicopee, next to the Fairfield Mall.
WHYN AM 560 AccuWeather will get the rain out of here by Saturday morning. Could turn out to be a pretty nice weekend.
See this headline here, insanity linked to size of brain. You imagine the jokes are going to be made now about this, the off-color, insensitive, humorless jokes, which are going to be made about brain size. Not here, though. Not on this show. Tearing up the story, no comment. Sitting here, my friends, with half my brain tied behind my back just to make it fair. Here's, largest hypothalamus known in North America. Yes, that's me. Largest one ever tested. All right, here's Brendan in Toledo, Ohio. Brendan, hi, how are you? Brendan? Brendan! Turn it up. Let me see if this is a live line or not. That's a live line. He's just not there.
Hello?
Ah, there you are, Brendan.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I didn't hear you come in. Turn the thing
What do you
on.
mean I didn't hear you? I've only been shouting here, Brendan, 5 times or so.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Mega Ditto is from the Glass City.
The Glass City. Brendan, before you get it, you're in Ohio. Let's see here. $33,198 a year is the average teacher salary in Ohio. That's pretty good money.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Not bad money. I mean, it's not...
It's not rich, but it's all right.
It's not rich, but I mean, it certainly isn't the poverty wages that teachers would have you believe they make. Anyway, what's up?
Well, anyway, I just wanted to comment you on your excellent show.
Thank you.
It'll be a good conservative show for a lot of people to listen to, and I hope you have success with your TV show coming up this September.
So do I.
Good. Anyway, I want to talk to you about the Pat Buchanan speech that he meant that was on the convention in Houston. I agreed with a lot of what he said, and I don't think it was being divisive as Mark Shields said it was. I felt as though that when he mentioned the homosexuals, he didn't exclude them as people. It was their lifestyle that he didn't agree with. And he wanted to include everyone into the Republican Party, but at the same time, he wanted to say that it's the lifestyles that he doesn't agree with. So
I would go further than that. I'm not going to put words in his mouth.
Right.
I interpreted, though, to mean the political agenda. Let's face it, every militant group in the country, be it the pro-abortionists, be it the ACLU, be it the feminazis, be it the gay activists, they have a political agenda. And I think probably that's what he meant, is that he opposes the political agenda of militant homosexual groups and hopes that the political agenda that they espouse does not become dominant. That's what he means.
Right. Just to show you an example of that, well, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Toledo Blade. It's one of the newspapers that we have in Toledo, and to show some extent of media bias, in the Democratic Convention, they show a front-page picture of Reverend Jesse Jackson holding his arm up, along with a woman's arm up in a victory stance, and it says in big caption, Jackson State's Liberal Manifesto. And it talks about how good it was, and how good the speech was, and this and that. And then when the Republican convention came on, it showed a big headline of an AIDS activist smearing a whole bunch of red paint all over the Bush posters. And that was like the first day of the convention. And so you can see a little bit of bias. But with what Buchanan was saying about the homosexual group, you're right. It's a political agenda, and groups like ACT UP and other factions that use militant violence to get their point across, it doesn't impress anybody. And there was this one caller that called a couple days ago, the gay conservative, and he mentioned, the same thing, and I agree with him as well, that these people use dirty tactics to get their point across, and people really aren't impressed by that.
Well, that's arguable. I mean, they may not be impressed. You may be right about that, but obviously this stuff works. That's why they do it. It's intimidating. It gets them coverage. I mean, when they can look at the front page of the Toledo Blade and see a cover photo of them smearing blood on a Bush poster, that's victory. That's working, and that's why they keep on doing it. That's proper, I think, to point out the bias that exists. Imagine using the word liberal manifesto and being supportive of it. I mean, the interesting thing of what you said Jackson delivers liberal manifesto. Wait a minute. Something strange there, because this is not about liberalism anymore, this convention. I didn't think this party was about that. Station break. After that, the wedge issue for Bill Clinton when we get back.
You are listening to Advice to the Lovelorn, and our next caller is Sid.
Gloria, hi.
Hi.
Hi, I heard your allergy attack before. Are you okay?
I'm fine now, Sid. I took Benadryl.
But you were sneezing so much.
Yeah, my eyes were watering.
Must be all these sad stories.
No, allergies. But Benadryl works fast.
When allergies come on this strong, Benadryl comes on stronger.
So now I'm better.
Oh, good, because I need all the help I can get. Now, I met this girl yesterday. You know what she said to me?
Benadryl, recommended by more doctors, trusted by people with allergies. Use as directed.
Time for an update from Springfield's news leader, WHYN AM 560.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Healy, and here are some of the stories we're working on for 2 o'clock. The U.S. reportedly has begun monitoring operations to make sure no Iraqi warplanes violate the no-fly zone in southern Iraq. Springfield congressional candidate Catering Walsh is calling for an end to political action committee money in campaigns and accusing incumbent Richard Neal of selling out to special interests. And teachers in Connecticut are the highest paid on average in the nation, according to a new survey. Massachusetts ranks 10th. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 22.5 points at 3269. The exclusive WHYN AccuWeather forecast for today: hazy, hot, and humid. Chance of a late-day shower or thunderstorm, high 90. Tonight, warm and muggy, low 68. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and humid. Chance of a shower, high 80. Chance of showers or a thunderstorm tomorrow night into Saturday morning, and partly sunny and less humid Saturday afternoon. I'm Paul Healy, WHYN News.
Do you own a car? Are you happy with it? Would you like to trade it in for something nicer? Then this message is for you. For a limited time, Belize will give you a guaranteed minimum $2,000 for your vehicle towards the purchase of any used car or truck at Belize. You heard right. No matter what you're driving now, it's worth at least $2,000 towards any used vehicle at Belize. Your car may be worth even more. Belize has a huge assortment of used cars and trucks, including many late-model, low-mileage trade-ins, plus a tremendous selection of nearly new factory program cars. Belize has a used car or truck in your price range. Come see for yourself at Belize Chevy Olds GL, West Columbus Avenue, Springfield, Belize Chrysler Plymouth Jeep Eagle, Route 20, Westfield, and the Belize Auto Plaza, home of Belize Honda, Toyota, and Lexus, Route 5, West Springfield.
Buy now and save at the Belize 65th Anniversary Sell-a-thon. Bigger and better than ever. Open Sundays 12 to 5. Hurry in and save at Belize.
The Car Phone Store has some very important information to communicate. Communications is their only business, so they need to let you know the grand opening of their new Riverdale Street location is on now. It's a perfect time to stop in. The Car Phone Store is your authorized BAM, Bell Atlantic Metro Mobile agent, and they've reopened at a new location at 526 Riverdale Street, West Springfield. The Car Phone Store knows that staying in touch keeps you in business. And as an authorized Bell Atlantic Metro Mobile agent, staying in touch is easier and more affordable. Stop into the Car Phone Store right now and see the advantages of the Bell Atlantic Metro Mobile system. And check out the big variety of car phones and mobile communications equipment that will keep your business communicating. Activate with the Car Phone Store now and get a certificate for 2 free tickets to Florida. Check the Car Phone Store for details. The new location, Riverdale Street, West Springfield, right across from Berterra Lincoln Mercury.
This is WHYN AM 560.
Oh, yeah. We about to make you jump. 5, 4, 3. You know the rest. Rush Limbaugh. Are you ready? Yes, mama.
It's the Excellence in Broadcasting Network and the Rush Limbaugh program. So glad you've joined us as the weeks just continue zipping by. Here's the phone number, 800-282-2882. As I have told you people countless times, I believe that the unmasking of Bill Clinton as a liberal, not a moderate centrist, is essential if George Bush is to win the presidential race in November. If that doesn't happen, then I don't think the odds are good. I think there's trouble out there now, and if things don't change, if Clinton continues to mask the fact that his is a party that hasn't changed, that is still run for the most part by liberals, and that the appointees that he will name and the policy implementers are still liberal. If that doesn't come public, then he's going to win, and we are going to be sorry. I, of course, will have a great 4 years saying, nye, 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 nye. But I would just as soon not go through that, ladies and gentlemen. I would rather not put this show first. Obviously, it would be much easier for me to say, gosh, I hope Clinton wins. Can you imagine how important this show will become? What a great thing for Clinton to win. And I got reporters calling me all over the place. Don't you wish Clinton wins? I said, why? Well, I mean, gee, you'll have every day, you'll have 18,000 things to criticize. You'll be saying, I told you that. And I looked these reporters in the eye and said, you actually think that I would place the success of my show over the future of my country? It's a beautiful thing that I have the attitude of country first. So I think that Clinton's going to have to be unmasked, and I think Bush is going to have to do it because the press won't. The press wants Clinton to be elected. They can say all they want that that's not true, but we all know that it is. So is there an issue out there that provides an opportunity for this unmasking? Yes. That issue, ladies and gentlemen, is the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. George Bush has strangely brought this to the fore during an election year, during a campaign. A strange move because it's very controversial, and the conventional wisdom associated with NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, is that it's going to lose jobs. Typical liberal groups, unions, all these people are saying, it's going to export jobs. You've heard everybody say this. Well, great, let's have this agreement. Let's just export all these jobs down to Mexico and so forth. So it's a curious thing he's doing. So you ask yourself, well, why then is he doing it? One of the reasons why is because Bill Clinton has spoken favorably of this agreement. Way back when, before the presidential race heated up, still during the primaries, Bill Clinton was all over this like white on rice, as the saying goes. He loved it. He thought it was a great plan. Now, as he goes and speaks to union guys in Michigan, he says, I've got to read the fine print on this. I'm not sure now how I feel. He's sure how he feels. He wants to find which position puts him on the best side of this thing and go there. But there is a problem. Richard Gephardt, Congressman Richard Gephardt, Democrat from Missouri, has stated that the North American Free Trade Agreement is not acceptable in its current form. In no way, shape, matter, or form does it work. Gephardt says the administration has reneged on its pledge to deal adequately with labor and environmental issues by sponsoring this agreement. So here we have the Democratic presidential nominee who at one time has been all for this thing. It has not changed, by the way, since he was all for it. But now he says, I want to read the fine print. Meanwhile, a prominent liberal Democrat leader in Congress says it's rotten. It's no good. But it contains many things that Bill Clinton says that he wants. So we have here a split. If Bill Clinton is elected president, The North American Free Trade Agreement is not going to happen. The Democrats in Congress, it doesn't matter what Bill Clinton wants, are not going to go for this because it's a good idea. Let me give you some facts. I've had some calls about this. Let me give you some facts about the North American Free Trade Agreement. Please listen. I got some numbers here, but I want you to listen closely. This year, we will have a $7 billion surplus with Mexico. Our exports to Mexico are expected to rise to $40 billion. That is a growth rate of 300% in 5 years. 2 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, our trade with Mexico was in deficit, just as our trade is now in deficit with Japan. Mexico this year will become our number 2 market for manufactured goods, surpassing Japan. Canada is number 1. Mexico will become number 2, surpassing Japan. No matter how this is interpreted, it means more jobs being created in the United States than being lost. Why? Demand in Mexico for U.S. product. U.S. manufactured goods. However, it is true, according to many experts, that there will be a loss of some jobs on the low end of the pay scale, and many of them might be union jobs. The jobs gained, however, from this trade agreement with Mexico will probably be high-tech jobs, higher-paying jobs. And this is where it gets interesting for Clinton, because if you listen to Clinton, that's what he says he wants to do. Bill Clinton says that what he wants for America is higher-paying jobs. The reason jobs are exported to Mexico in the first place, folks, is because in most cases, the U.S. worker won't do those jobs anymore for the price that companies are willing to pay to get those jobs done. It is not because corporations are evil and greedy and selfish and want to put American workers out of work. It's simply, if you say this is a global economy, and if you say that the United States has got to compete globally, we have to do what's necessary to not lose ground, well, globally means maybe manufacturing in Mexico if it's cheaper. Why is it cheaper in Mexico? Well, if a Mexican worker is unemployed and all of a sudden can find a job for the equivalent of $1 an hour, he's happy. That's a 100% increase over what he's making. And he'll take the job. He'll do the job. And that means that he'll feel less necessary to invade illegally our borders in order to find work, welfare, or whatever. It does not mean the loss of U.S. jobs, as the naysayers on the left and union members would like to tell you. It simply means a restructuring of American jobs into higher-paying areas. No matter what happens, ladies and gentlemen, you got to admit this, you have to understand this, U.S. companies will not be stopped from manufacturing abroad. There's no way that's going to happen. No Bill Clinton, no George McGovern, no president, no Congress is going to be able to stop U.S. companies from manufacturing abroad. The relevant point is that by making Mexico a principal partner in trade, the resulting reciprocity is more beneficial to the United States than to any other country of the world. Mexico, now, and this is an interesting statistic, Mexico has 1/10 the economy of Japan. 1/10. And they already buy almost as much from us as Japan does. Even given the rotten economy in Mexico. More than 20% of U.S. imports from Mexico are oil. And almost all of our exports to Mexico are manufactured or farm products. Now you're saying, so what's all this mean? I'll tell you what it means. You people who sit around and actually believe that the reason we've got problems here is because Japan won't open its market to us. And you think, you've heard this, the auto executives have complained that the reason U.S. auto sales lag is because Japan won't open the market. Here's Mexico with an economy so bleak, so barren, as we all know it is, but even at that, they still buy almost as much from us as Japan does. So if the Japanese won't, why not the Mexicans? Let's just build up their economy and let them buy from us if that's what's needed to revive a bunch of industry. If we want free trade, if we want global trade, we've got to have countries around the world where people can afford to buy the stuff that we make. But Richard Gephardt doesn't want any part of this. Richard Gephardt's a protectionist. Richard Gephardt doesn't have any desire for any of this because he doesn't understand it. Liberals have no understanding of how business works. Most of them have never owned or run a business. Many of them just always worked in the public sector. And Clinton has stated he likes this deal. And Bush is bringing it up during the campaign precisely to exploit the difference between the liberal leaders in Congress and the Democratic presidential nominee. And if there are other issues such as this which can be raised to point out, hey, wait a minute, Clinton may be moving to the center, Clinton may like that deal, that he's not going to be able to get it done. And look at what he's saying now. He's backing off from the fact that he likes it. He has said, I want this, 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 and this, but he's not willing to actually do what's necessary to accomplish this, 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 and this, because the leaders of his party and the constituency groups which have elected him oppose it. But Bush has got to make the case. I mean, it's out there, the opportunity's there, and I think things like this are what are glowing opportunities if they can be exploited. We have to take a break, and we'll do that. Your calls right after this.
You're listening to the EIB Network.